Okay, guys, welcome to the second video of the phase one. Now you're gonna learn how to spot a range, okay? A bullish or bearish range. So as you learned in the previous video about the trick information, you need to see something like this. So a low, high, and then a low. So once you see all of these pivot points here that the market is like turning, this, and also this needs to be chicken formations. Okay. The most important, this one actually, it can be a chicken formation, but it doesn't need to be a chicken formation. This one also, the low, the higher high and the lower low here, the highest high actually and the lowest low. But this and this and this and this needs to be a chicken formation. Okay, for now. So when you see a break of this low and then a bearish movement and then a break of this high, then the same here, but to the opposite side, like a break of this high and then a break of this low, you can say that you have like a low and a high, which you can call like whatever you want, maybe point A to B, and this will form your whole bullish range. Okay, as simple as that. So every time that you see this pattern in your chart, you will mark them with these two over here, the horizontal line. And then you can go whatever you want in the chart, whatever time frame. Just practice this in hindsight until you are fast enough or use it enough to not be confused, because some ranges can be confusing because they can be very big, large ranges or very tight ranges. Okay. So pay attention to every candle that you can, like every trick and information. I'm going to choose a very simple one here, which will be this one here, this low. Then you can name this as sweep. Be easier for you to see later. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here so you can see the trick and information. You see that this candle, oh, and this low right here, both are trick and informations, but at the same time, they are equal lows. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. Okay, as long as you understand, it doesn't matter like you can pick this one or this one. At the end of the day, they are equal low. So in this case, it doesn't really matter. I just made sure that they are trick and informations. Okay, so right here after the sweep, that's why I want you to do this in hindsight, because you already know what happened later. You don't need to be waiting for the price to develop and then see if you form a range or not. You mark this here as the BOS. Sorry. As the BOS right here. So you know that this combination of a sweep and then a BOS, you have the low right here. Okay, so you can sign with this dot as I did in the PDF. All right. So after the sweep and the boss, you have the low. Now all you have to do is go back in time and search for the same pattern, the same opposite pattern to have the high. Okay, which would be here. Like you have the break of this high, which would be the sweep, and then the break of this low right here, which would be the BOS. All right, so now you have the high and the low. Now you can call this a range. Okay, and that's it. Don't overcomplicate things. That's it. Okay, that's what you need to practice right now. Of course, for the bullish and bearish examples and practices. But look, one thing that you have to keep in mind always, which will help you out to learn faster and not get confused. Once you have a bearish push, always look first for the low. Don't be here trying to guess the high. Imagine that this is live. So the price is happening like this. And then you have this low. Once you see a bearish movement, always search first for the low, and then you go back and search for the high. Don't do the opposite, otherwise you can get confused. Okay. The same will be for the bullish side. So if you have a bullish movement, always search first for your high, your range high, and then go back in time and search for the range low. Okay. I'm gonna do another thing, another tip is that when you have the sweep right here, like in this leg, in this case, always think about or question yourself uh, which was the true candle formation high that made this sweep. Okay. I think, at least in my mind, it gets easier to spot the right QM, the right high for the QM. For the QM is this, just a sweep and then a BOS. We can call this a QM, okay? Or manipulation, whatever you want to call it. But we call this a QM. So when you have the sweep, like right here, once the live price is happening and this candle made the sweep, I mean, which can be the sweep because you can have a situation like this in live market. Let's imagine that this happened. So this will not be the sweep anymore, and this will be the sweep, okay? And this high caused this sweep. So this high should be the next QM to form the low eventually, all right? And the same applies for the high, okay? So here you have like a sweep, and then once you have the sweep, you have to think like which was the most recent three candle formation low that caused this sweep right here. Okay, so if I go back in time so you can have a complete example here when you are trading live markets. Once this high was taken out, I can think like, oh, this was should be the next BOS, right? Yes, you're right. And then what happened was that this high got taken out again, right? Right here, this high was taken out again. And the same low as it would be here, the same low will apply for the same BOS, for the same QM pattern, because that's the only three candle formation inside of this area, right? So I'm used to it, but you have to train your eyes enough to see this fast enough to be confident and use it in live markets. Okay, so let me just do a bullish example here, another easy one. So you have remember this is a bullish push. Okay, so first I'm trying to spot my high, the high of the range. Once I have this sweep, and then this BOS right here. So look, took the high out, which was the nearest triangular formation that caused this sweep, was this one. So once price breaks this lower here, then you have a high. Okay, so high, and then you go back in time and search for the opposite pattern. Okay, so take the high, and then like look at this right here. You can get confused already. This would be the high that was taken, and then you have this low and this low, right? In this case, both were taken at the same time, basically the same time, right? One candle after and one candle before. So for me, the right marking of this, if you are looking for this right here, would be here. But remember, you want to see what is happening in the lowest points right here. So look, in live markets would be something like this. Break the high, break the low, but this is already formed once the high is formed. Agree? Because we've seen this in hindsight. But in live markets, once this happened, of course, this will already be made, already printed in your screen. So once you have this high and this low taken, and then you know that this is a high, you just go back in time and see where the sweep was. So this is a sweep, this is a sweep, and this is a BOS. Yes, it is, but it's not the most recent. As we said in the PY, you have to see the most recent QM pattern to see the lower here. So if this is already formed, I know that this would be the sweep, take the low, right? And then you ask yourself again, which was the nearest three candle formation high that made this low to get taken out. So you have this one, right? So you can write here like sweep and then BOS, right? So now you have the low right here. You see, if I was for some reason searching for here because I was trying to find first the low and then the high, I could get confused. As I said in the PDF, in the pro tip, once you have the bullish movement, always search for your high first, and then go back and search for the most recent low, range low. And to form a low, you need the QM pattern. And to form a high, you need the QM pattern. Okay? So that's it. Sweep, and then break this high out. You have a range, a bullish range from this point to this point. Okay? That's it about ranges. That is what you need to to understand and to practice to be a little bit faster and used to it. Okay, that's it. See you guys in the next video.